Welcome to Xbox Now. Bethesda Xbox just did their E3 presentation, and it was something else, let me tell you. So, what I'm going to do is we are going to be doing a kind of like a call-in show, and I'm going to be bringing some different people from my Discord community, which, if you'd like to join, n64josh.com/discord. And we're going to be talking about their thoughts about the presentation, the different games that we saw. And so let's jump into this thing. I'm going to go ahead and grab my first guest now. I'm going to check my B-roll button. Let's see. Hey, it actually worked. Here we go. All right, so first up, we got Nightcrawler coming in. Here we go. Crawler, what did you think of the E3 presentation from Xbox and Bethesda?
I thought it was they sold us on why you need an Xbox, and I think that what was it, 30 games total or something like that, and 27 of them were coming to Game Pass and or exclusive in some way. So I mean, they're selling you on what we've said they've been lacking for 5-6 years. Telling you why you need to have an Xbox, and it's good. It's good. I mean, they're in a good spot, and they got more to come. This was only a small sampling, I think, of what we have coming here in the future, next year and the years after.
They really, I mean, it started strong right off the bat, as we're seeing here, or over here actually. Starfield. Right now, it's a ways out, and that's okay. But I mean, this game it has the potential to be massive. You know, I talked about it. I've in many different shows over the last week, but I feel like after today's show, we got to see why Xbox purchased Bethesda, and there's a handful of games on their way that are going to be I'm fairly certain anyway, are going to be pretty amazing. Plus, we're getting to see more and more upgrades. Doom Eternal's getting some upgrades.
Well, Doom Eternal's even just coming to Game Pass. It wasn't on Game Pass yet, and now it's coming. Is that today or is it later this? I think it's coming today, and then it's getting the upgrade later next week or something like that.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second, because I've been playing Doom Eternal on Game Pass, so I don't know. That whole thing was a little bit confusing to me. Now, when I play Doom Eternal, which is weird, the loading screen or whatever, not the loading screen, but like the little menu says Doom Eternal Battle Mode. Yet I'm still playing the campaign. So I'm still confused on what is happening with that, because it seemed like they were just now adding it, right?
Could be. I think it's on it might be coming to PC today as well. I don't think Doom Eternal was on PC.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes too. It's like it's there, it's not there. It can come in and out. But Bethesda games, they're working their way to have everything on the platform, or on the service. And I mean, they're making those billions of dollars work well to sell that service, and consoles for that matter. I think Xbox has a lot going for them when it comes to smart delivery and just I mean, being able to run the stuff like we saw with Horizon, that we'll probably talk about here a little bit. That engine footage and Starfield, for that matter, was in engine as well. It's pretty incredible what the console can do.
It really is. It really is. I'm going to grab Nate and drop him in too. We'll just leave you in, Crawler. We'll just keep chatting. I think Jedi might end up jumping in as well. Nate, what were your thoughts on the presentation?
I thought it was great. I think the buffet is getting a little more fancy, you know?
I like it. I like that you went right there to the buffet. That's awesome. That's awesome. What were some like standout games or moments for you during the presentation?
I think the Back for Blood thing, I was super excited about that because there's such a nostalgic pull with that with my pops and stuff. And Halo, obviously, that looked amazing.
Yeah, the multiplayer for Halo, like the I don't know that I necessarily love the look of the, I guess they're Spartans at this point, like the way but some of the gameplay itself, and like what was the he hijacked somebody with his with the grapple jack, I think is what they called it.
Grapple jack is what the official medal is in multiplayer, because that's what the announcer called out.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, some of that stuff looked really cool. Now they didn't say anything about a BR, right? But it is free to play, and I mean, because of that, they have the option to kind of really take it where they would like. We've seen them with the Master Chief Collection, that they're constantly updating the seasons, adding new things.
Yeah, they still have a season thing going, and that's what they confirmed that as well.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gonna end up with a season like a battle pass. There's no, I mean, if it's free to play, that that's their play at this point, right? Which is gonna be, I'm curious to see how they're going to work that. And
do Game Pass subscribers get something either discounted and or free, or what does that look like?
That's a good question, and that would make sense for sure. So last time Halo was showed, it got a lot of flack. Crawler, looking at Halo this time, do you think it looked the campaign stuff that they showed, do you think it looked better?
I mean, they showed very little campaign stuff, but the end engine stuff that we saw multiplayer, the props to that editor, that cut of the multiplayer suite stuff that they were going through was pretty entertaining to watch. But I think it looks good. I think anything that's been in the oven for another year, I mean, obviously is going to look a lot better. I think they showed off a lot more assets than what they had shown initially, and it's looking promising. And people were concerned if campaign and multiplayer were both going to come out on the same day, and if multiplayer was going to get delayed. I'm sure. I mean, Bungie is what 400 something, or not Bungie. Sorry, 343 is probably what a 500, 600, 700 person studio now. It's large. They probably have multiple teams, and the multiplayer people have been doing their own thing, and the campaign people have been doing their thing. And it looks like they're going to have a pretty solid launch. Who knows if a BR is hiding in the future? I mean, that's Call of Duty Warzone didn't launch when Black Ops, what was that, 4 came out last year, or 2, how many years ago that was. So it could be something in the future, but I think for what we saw, it looks good.
Nate, what did you think about Chief? Like flying through that debris and looking for his weapon, and then landing and talking with that new AI, and we could hear Cortana, and she was supposed to be deleted. Like, how do you feel about the story and everything? My initial thought, I'm not gonna lie, when I saw Chief and the way he looked. Now, obviously, I assume it's like a CG trailer, whatever. But all of a sudden, I started going, wait a minute, this might actually be, on par with the past Halo games campaign, or possibly even better. And if that's the case, that's a huge win for Microsoft. What were your thoughts when you saw Chief rolling around?
It looked great. I mean, I think the biggest thing is I think they had, like, it was jumping from like gameplay to cutscene, so it was kind of hard. But I mean, it just looked like insanity. I mean, like old school Halo that I remember playing. As far as Master Chief, he looked good. I'm excited. It looks fun. Wasn't that the main thing here? It looks fun.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, as far as the looks go, Chief looks like Chief. Not like the
Yes.
not like the roided out, Halo 5 chief that was like
He doesn't look like Doomslayer.
yeah, he doesn't look like Doomslayer anymore. He looks like Chief again. So I think that's a good thing. Crawler,
I think
what was? Oh, go ahead.
3 was able to take like a lot of the criticism I think that they got with 5 and roll this into kind of a reimagine, not a reimagining, but like definitely taking their criticism in stride and embracing the things that, like, taking out the things that people didn't like.
Yeah, absolutely. They it really does seem like they are listening. And I mean, in having Joseph back, and it's one of the original creators of the Halo franchise back and in control. Really, I'm very, very hopeful for the future of Halo, and I have a feeling it's going to be a game we're going to be playing for a very, very long time. Crawler, I'm going to go back to you. What was your biggest surprise from the E3 event?
I mean, you talked to. I wasn't prepared for Horizon. I didn't think it was. I know that that's two separate teams working on stuff, but I definitely thought Motorsport was the next thing to come from the Forza team. So seeing a brand new Horizon is fun. I mean, the stuff they showed off with Mexico looks pretty cool. Tons of different kind of biomes with, like, you have beach and city and rainforest and a volcano and all sorts of fun stuff to kind of go around and explore. So that's good. And then we also. Oh, I have a little one going to nap. Hold on one second. Go ahead and keep going.
Nate, what was your biggest surprise from the show?
Big surprise? I don't know if I was too surprised, because a lot of the stuff, like, I've missed. So, like, stuff like the Ascent, that looks fun. And it's like stuff I wouldn't give a try, I mean, I think the biggest surprise, let's say the fridge. I mean,
the fridge was I've been hanging out in in Clubhouse on Tuesday nights with the Mav show and Aaron Greenberg and Stein and Jeff Keighley, and they talk about this fridge every week. And so I wasn't too surprised. That we got. I mean, we knew the announcement was coming thanks to that Twitter Xbox versus Skittles thing on Twitter, but yeah. I don't know that I was expecting to see see it added to the presentation the way it was. And I mean, it also just it just shows that Xbox is about, like, kind of just having fun. You know what I mean? Like, how goofy is that? That they're taking the meme that their console looked like a fridge and turning it into a fridge. I mean, they're just running with the meme, and I think
keep trolling, and we'll give us ideas.
Exactly, which I think is incredible. I think it's great. So,
hey, at least with all the money you can save from buying games this year, you could buy a fridge now.
Yeah, buy a fridge, throw your energy drinks in it. You'll be.
Just don't accidentally put drinks in your actual Xbox. It's pretty damn similar.
Yeah, exactly. Be careful about that for sure. So, were there any games you were expecting to see that didn't make any appearance at all that you were kind of surprised by?
Leaks are so up and down. I don't remember everything that was in there because I was kind of driving and watching, but I'd say Back 4 Blood. I caught that leak the other day, and it was like, all right, this is cool. Looking at the B-roll here. I mean, that vampire game, that was leaked too, wasn't it?
That I'm not sure of. The Redfall or whatever.
The Arcane game, that one at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that one had been leaked. But the B-roll that we're seeing right now, this seems like it's a ways out. This is like a
Contraband.
It's like a cartel kind of game. It looks.
Isn't that Redfall like Project Omen? Isn't that what that was?
That was the one at the end. That's being made by Arcane at
Gotcha.
Bethesda, and yeah, I think that's new. I don't know if that was leaked or not. I kind of wish you were asking what we kind of wish we'd seen. I mean, they embraced and talked about Perfect Dark a little bit, but we didn't see anything more. I mean, I think we're still probably that's 2024. Maybe we'll get that game.
Yeah, it's a ways
I think
out.
we're a ways out. So, but I don't know, maybe something a little bit. They're still hiring for that studio and everything like that. But as much as I can see about Perfect Dark, I would like to hear more about it. The Sea of Thieves thing that we're seeing right now, the partnership with Disney, that was pretty crazy. Getting Johnny Depp and more characters from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies involved in Sea of Thieves, and that's a free update for everybody, and that's coming out I think end of this month or next month.
22nd,
So
June 22nd.
Yeah.
And so I immediately text as soon as Xbox, because Xbox was tweeting out everything as they were going. So as soon as they tweeted this little segment out, I sent that tweet to my youngest daughter, who she loves Pirates and so she was like, I'm gonna need that, and I'm like, well, you're gonna have it on June 22nd, you know. So she was very, very excited about that, but I think this is a big one. I think it's a big play on Xbox part, and two, what a perfect fit of, you know, getting the Pirates of
Yeah. And it seems like it's almost an actual like campaign thing to do, which I've struggled with Sea of Thieves. I've dabbled in a little bit. It's fun. It's fun to play around with your friends, but it doesn't really have. You have that goal of pirate legend or whatever, but it has just random obscure things that you go do. This seems like it's actually got kind of a story and a plot and something that you can set out to kind of go complete, which is good for this game. And it's just expanding on what's a pretty solid experience, but kind of didn't have what I felt was like strong direction and something to go do. And that gives you something to do now, which is fun.
I completely agree. I've been in the same boat with Sea of Thieves. I'm like, okay, this seems like fun for a few minutes, but like, what's really the point of this? You know, and I think this is gonna, because honestly, I'm excited to play this game with my daughter. I wanna jump in with her and play. I'm hoping I'm assuming it's all gonna be co-op, and so we'll be able to experience this together. And I'm really looking forward to it. So it really seemed overall like the show had something for everyone, right? We were seeing some JRPGs. We were seeing lots of shooters, of course. We were seeing some real creative indie titles, like with 12 minutes and some games like that. Is there anything else, Nate, that you were just like super stoked for or surprised by? Anything like that before we wrap this thing up?
How about Battlefield? That looked great. I was hoping for the Game Pass tag on there, but hey, I mean, you can't mess with their pre-orders and EA's pre-orders. But Battlefield looked great.
You get a discount if you're Game Pass.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, as long as you're not going physical, you can take advantage of the discount with Game Pass. But I agree. Battlefield looked great. It looked, I mean, having the power of these current gen consoles with what Battlefield's wanting to set out to do, like, I'm really looking forward to jumping in. And you know what I was thinking the whole time? It was like, man, I hope we get to see a Battlefront 3. Now that's where my mind started going as soon as I saw Battlefront 2042. It's like, you know, I don't know if it's even gonna happen, but to have some Star Wars battles on that scale, 128 players, like that could be a lot of fun. So
Looks crazy.
It really does. Crawler, any other final thoughts from you?
I'm just excited that I have an Xbox. I like the flight simulator. I have it on PC. I deleted it because it was so massive. I might have to clear some space on my Series X, or my Series X internal drive just to check it out, especially with the Top Gun stuff coming here later. I know it's kind of a endeavor to go about learning the stuff with Flight Simulator, but I think they have enough assists and other things that you can kind of learn your way through it. But the jet fighters coming into Flight Simulator looks pretty fun.
It really, yeah, that was it. The moment they showed Maverick and you heard the music, I was like, oh, this is a perfect fit. This is a great fit. And then of course my mind goes, is there going to be some kind of combat, or is it still just going to be just flying by the tower and stuff? You know what I mean? So awesome. Well,
it's
guys,
like a walking simulator, but in a plane.
it's like, yeah, exactly. Wait, I feel like you nailed it there. So,
and Obsidian made the best trailer of all time ever.
oh my gosh, yes they did. Yeah, where it was just like, we're not actually showing you anything, and we're gonna make fun of ourselves, the whole time. Yeah, that was very well done. I loved it. So, guys, thanks so much for taking the time. That's gonna do it for our post E3 show. We have another. I have a very. We have like 6 or 7 people scheduled for like a roundtable discussion tonight at 7 p.m. We will be live right here on the Xbox Now channel, and it's gonna be a really good time. So stay tuned for that. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.